Welcome to Doge Meat Games, a place to hear gaming news, editorials, and other random stuff in the gaming industry in 5 minutes or less. In today's video, we are talking about my top 3 wishes for the next entry in the Battlefield series. There's a lot of speculation and leaks afoot about this game these days, so let's dive into what makes me giddy as can be. Wish number 1, the return of Levolution. Since the launch of Battlefield 4, which I will recognize as a total train wreck at the time, its audience was captivated by the idea of being able to meaningfully manipulate the battlefield through the environment, not just John Everyman shooting Steve Every Dude. This mechanic provided an opportunity for teams to strategize whether it was worth it to take down a skyscraper or flatten a radar dish. Moreover, the game introduced weather systems to obscure vision or make it difficult to travel by air or sea. Then you have the smaller things, like the interaction with bollards to cut off flank routes for tanks, or throwing some brightly colored birds in a bush right in the path you were taking to attack a point so that it tips off the other team. Yeah, you could have avoided this, but you didn't. Levolution, though it was made fun of at the time, gave the Battlefield series the identity it desperately needed in a crowded shooter space. It gave the player options and turned each map into a giant sandbox. Nothing has quite lived up to this level of detail, though they have tried. I'm looking at you, Call of Duty. Wish number 2, the return to modern. There was a point in time where I would not have wanted this, as every single shooter a few years ago was modern or near future. DICE realized this, I think, and took a chance with Battlefield 1, a weird sort of return to form for the franchise. I say weird because it had a lot of mechanical differences between Hardline, BF4, and then BF1. Weapons and equipment became limited and focused, so more purposeful. Ammo was no longer seemingly coming out of your soldiers' every pore. The hard shift from modern cities and skylines to open fields and ruined castles was honestly refreshing, and it still brings back great memories. I still play BF4 even after all this time with great joy, and yet I feel that the series was truest to itself when it was presenting its own story through its modern-day series. Because they made up the conflict, the sky was the limit to their creativity, and could dig into their loosely based gun archetypes. I think the shift from Battlefield 4 and Hardline to BF1 was just so tremendous. It made me really appreciate just how many options were available from the older titles, even if they made no sense whatsoever. Wish number 3, a focus on gameplay. What most people don't know about Battlefield is that if you strip away all of its glitz and glamour, it's actually a really solid shooter mechanically. It's not a hero shooter, but it does have classes that each bring their own thing to the table. There are specializations or perks, or whatever they're called now, that let you define your character even further to suit your playstyle. None of these things are broken. They actually play great together. The shooting is tight and responsive, most likely due to their commitment to the 60Hz servers, and it is genuinely fun to get in with your friends or alone and start fragging. This, however, was a bit lost on me with BF5. When it was revealed, I was okay with the setting, but I wasn't okay with the weird way it presented it. Mechanical arm trench coat wearing rebel fighting some bad dudes? I don't remember that part in Band of Brothers, but okay. Battlefield 5 continued its identity crisis throughout its time, talking about attrition and then killing that idea, then launching a surprisingly solid battle royale, then pretty much dropping that like a hot potato. Because of this, the gameplay suffered. The focus and intrigue of the previous titles seemingly thrown out in favor of trying to tell a different side of a war that almost every human is familiar with. I love different ways to look at things in games, but not at the cost of fun. I sincerely hope DICE learned a lot from this misstep and apply it to the next one, whatever number they decide to put on it. Maybe it won't even have one. So that's it. My top 3 wishes for the next Battlefield game. I truly love this series and wish nothing but success for it, but I think they have some making up to do for some lost time. If you liked the video, drop a like. If not, don't. And please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and take care.